I want to give you guys a little bit of insight into what's going on and why I decided to move the show up. Probably like 4 hours. Yeah, it's about 4 hours that I moved the show up. And I want to break that down for you guys before I read the super chats, cash apps, stuff like that. Shout out to Chris James in the building. But let me give you all a little bit of insight as to why, what my mindset is. And I've been actually prepping you guys for a long time that this was going to happen, that this was coming. This is not new for a lot of y'all. Y'all already knew that it was coming, so this is not anything that you should be surprised about. I said that I was going to be switching and pivoting it up and making sure that I drop it early in the morning or I live stream early in the morning, and it's going to be a little bit of uncomfortable change, but we already know that, right? Change is always uncomfortable, and I already hear some of y'all cry, "Oh, Anton, we really used to the Millionaire afternoon show where you do it at 11:45, 12 o'clock p.m., 11:45 a.m. Don't worry about it. We're going to make some adjustments. We're going to get used to it." One of the reasons is several different reasons why I made this change, okay? The first reason in which I started to think about changing it to the time that I'm doing it to now, which is 7 a.m. Eastern, and I may pivot with it a little bit, right? I may make some adjustments and maybe do 7:30, maybe even 8, depending on what happens over the next month. But this is a 2 to 3 month transition, so to speak, meaning that you guys don't get used to what we're doing now until probably about 60 to 90 days, because that's when you develop a habit. When I first started this channel was the original After Hours. So you guys know that I have a channel called After Hours now, but that After Hours channel is largely an ode to what I originally created, because this channel was actually a late night channel / 9 p.m., 10 p.m. type of channel. We used to have a lot of the good conversations or whatever. But I realized that in order for me to really be able to add as much value into people's lives, I wanted to move into the morning time. And so it was an uncomfortable pivot right there. And it took some time in order for it to really be catching traction and catch the people to doing what they're doing. But I realized that by the end of the day, you've already lived your life, right? And so at that point, at late night times, it really just becomes entertainment. It's not anything of value. You're not really retaining anything. And so a lot of the books that I've read in my lifetime basically tells me that the people that are the most successful are the ones that get up early and take care of business. Early bird gets the worm. In addition to that, it used to be somewhere around 8, 9 a.m., and the reason that I used to do it at 8, 9 a.m. is because it allowed for me, once I transitioned back into corporate America, it allowed for me to make sure that I could move some stuff around depending on my meetings. Well, after we had basically solidified that we wasn't ever going back into the office again, we slowly got lazy and we started to move it back out. And then, stuff would get in the way. And then we went to 10:30 and then we went to 11 and then it went to 11:30 and we kind of settled at 11:45 a.m. And then eventually it was like 12 p.m. and we just started getting a little bit too lax and a little bit too relaxed. So I had already started thinking about, hey, man, I want to start transitioning, getting back into the morning show, getting back to the name of the show and stuff like that. And in addition to that, I had a bunch of meetings yesterday, and we had some team meetings and things like that. And then I had a personal meeting with, my higher up. And it was like, Anton, we trying to figure out how to basically get everybody back into the office. Keeping it 100 with you. They're like, look, everybody that we hire, that we vet through, that we interview at this point, they got to be willing to come into the office. And so we've been even talking about people going back into the office across America, and that's pretty much over for a lot of people. Either people are going back into the office or they're working some form of a hybrid schedule, and we already know what that is. It could be because they incentivize to do so. They think that people are more productive. A lot of people messed up working from home because they wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. Whatever the reason is, they're like, yo, Anton, is it possible that you can even come in like one day a week? And I'm like, But then again, I'm thinking to myself, why not? Corporate offices ain't really that far. Well, we got a lot of satellite offices, but one of the satellite offices isn't really that far. I like dressing up and going into work. y'all seen me late night last night. That's why I had that shirt on, because I had went into the corporate office. And I got a bunch of shirts that I don't even wear that got the monogram, the AD on it. And so I like that. You know, it's cool. Going in once a week. They're probably going to start to push it a little bit and say 3 times a week. But I'm open to the possibility. And I'm not open to the possibility of a fumble in the bag, because I had already started to think about the possibility of getting back into the morning show also. Also, I think that the most profitable shows, the ones where people make the most money, in national TV. I'm not even talking about streaming, because a lot of streamers miss the sponsorships, all of that stuff is the morning shows. When you look at the Good Morning Americas and stuff like that, those are the ones that really generate the most revenue from a sponsorship perspective, and making sure that people are getting to that bag. So, I figured, why not just go ahead and cancel yesterday, since I had a lot of meetings. We're going to do a makeup show on Saturday. And then last but not least, we just put the timestamps in order to make sure that people get to the bag, take care of the business, and, kind of push people, kind of transition people, because it's a lifestyle. What we do here on the Millionaire Morning Show and the Bag Chasers and the Patreon is that we adopt lifestyle in order to make sure that we push ourselves to be more successful. It becomes a lifestyle. Me getting up at 4:35 in the morning, I'm already up at 4:35 in the morning. And so I'm already planning for my day. I'm working. I'm like, man, we might as well just get straight to it. It makes it easier for me to, as soon as I get out of here, I jump on a meeting, I go straight to the gym. And then I can head into the office or something like that, depending on what day of the week it is or whatever. So I just think it's a great opportunity. I think it's going to be something that ultimately benefits us. I also think that long-term we catch more people, because we catch the people that is going to work, and then the ones that want to kind of look at it as a podcast, or people that are used to streaming it at the times that we were streaming it before, the afternoon, 11, 11:45, 11:30 at lunchtime. They can still catch that, and it'll be easier for them to be able to find what they're looking for, because I'll put the timestamps in immediately after the show is over. And, we just making adjustments. We figuring it out. So, I'm trying to figure it out. I know the people on the West Coast, Los Angeles, Sacramento, Mountain Time, it's a lot of people that's over there to watch the show. We gonna figure it out. I know y'all might be a little bit uncomfortable because it's really early over there, but early bird gets the worm, and we got to get to the bag. We're not wasting no opportunities. We always want to grow. We always want to figure out how we can do things differently. We always want to figure out how we can get to a bigger bag. And I think that this is the play. As a result, if you noticed yesterday, I also pushed Wednesday night's live stream up to 9 o'clock, 9:15. We got started at around 9:20. I was a little tipsy. No worries. I absolutely love what it is that was going on there. I said what I said, and I meant what I said. But I pushed the afternoon shows up a little bit. So outside of Monday, which we always live stream at 10 o'clock a.m. Or 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. LA time, Pacific, I think. Aside from that, everything is going to be moved up. So whereas we would get started at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock p.m. or whatever, and then I wind up getting to bed at like 1:30 in the morning and then get right back up, everything is being pushed up. Everything is being pushed up. So we're going to start doing 8:30, 9 o'clocks for Wednesday nights, probably more like 9 p.m. for after hours joints. And we're going to get it in so that you guys can actually get some rest, get some box. You know what I'm saying? Brush your teeth. Make sure you get that T. Chanley. Shout out to T. Chanley, sponsor of the show. We appreciate you. And be refreshed in the morning. And then we're going to have our weekends off. And just as a caveat, because I love y'all, I very well may do some live streams at the normal time that we normally do it, depending on what my schedule is, depending on if I go into the office. I very well may do some live streams here on the Millionaire Morning Show. Not in the same format like, what we would usually do as far as the quick hits and the stories and stuff. That's going to be reserved for this time, for the morning. But I very well may do some impromptu live streams on the Millionaire Morning Show outside of the morning show itself. So I'm actually curious as to what your feedback is. Let me know inside of the comments. I see everybody out here in the chat. Thank y'all for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for continuing to tune into the Millionaire Morning Show. You guys are the greatest audience on earth, and give yourselves a round of applause. All right? Shout out to the Patreon members and the Discord members. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. If you have not joined the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We gonna get that in. And what else? Teach Henley. Shout out to Teach Henley, sponsor of the show. 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. If you guys are not a part of the Teach family and you're using any other Teach pack, cancel that. Come on over to the good side and get that Teach pack. Ladies, get it for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. And let's get it in. No, this is live, big dog. We getting it in live. What else? What else? Again, tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And then let me acknowledge the people out here in these streets before we get started with the show. We got a full show. And it also allows for me to really be able to cook up without any kind of time restrictions. So first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my dog, Mike That Dude. Shout out to Mike That Dude is in the building. Thank you for supporting us here on the Millionaire Morning Show. Melvin Johnson Sr. says, salute AD, put Cameron on payroll, she cooks. Man, it's expensive. Content creators is expensive. Let me just tell you that. Because I take care of my people and you never hear anybody complain. That's a part of the role. Content creation is expensive. Also,